Hi, my name is Gudrun from GE Designs. Welcome to my live quilting chat, Tipsy Tuesday. Hi everybody, welcome to our show. Thanks for being here, whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube. Make sure to send them some thumbs up and hearts if you like what you're seeing, and like our page while you're there. If you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button and sign up for notifications. You'll never miss a show. They'll remind you. They'll remind you whenever we're on. So love it, love it, love it if you share our video. That's one thing you can do to help us spread the word about the good content we give you every single week. Love that. Now, you want to stick around throughout the whole show because we have 2 giveaways every single show. We have a live winner every show that is pulled from all of your comments. So that means comment, comment, comment. And then we have a giveaway question at the end where we ask you a question. All you have to do is answer it to be entered into the giveaway, which will be announced next week during our show. So on today's show, we are going to continue with our Jackie quilt along with part 2. I'll take you through all of that tonight. And then I do have some great new quilts on the set. And of course, some new fabric to share. Some tips, always, always, always. Every time we do this, it's Tipsy Tuesday. By the way, we don't drink on Tuesdays. It's just for the tips.
Hi, everybody. Hi.
Mr. HP's here, running the show, of course, behind the scenes. So last show, we asked you our giveaway question, and the winner of our $25 gift card, I asked you, what do you struggle with during the quilt making process? So for the 4th giveaway in a row, we have someone named Mary. Mary Jean Mental Johnson. Congratulations, $25 gift card is yours. Just send us an email to help@gequiltdesigns.com and we will send you that gift card. Interestingly enough, she said she struggles with binding. And it was really interesting to read all your answers. It was you know, all over the board, of course, but superior majority, there were 2 things that you expressed that you struggle with in the quilt making process. One was binding, a lot of people's least favorite, and the thing that some people struggle with, different parts of it, whether it was joining the binding strips, whether it was doing it by machine, whether it was hand stitching it, all these things. The other thing was pairing up fabrics, choosing colors, picking coordinates, finding blenders. And so of course this is giving me some ideas. I do have a tutorial on how I do my machine binding, but we taped it quite a while ago. So I actually have been thinking to update that video and with some extra tips, some extra little pointers that just make that process so much better. So I am going to go ahead and do that as soon as we find the time. It will be in the near future.
When are we going to do that?
The other thing about pairing up fabrics, if you are newer to our show, I did a matchmaking series where I went through broke my patterns down into categories and then gave you tips on how to pick a pattern that matches your fabrics and what you would need to create focus, what you would need to create contrast, and all these different things. So you can go back and watch the Matchmaker series. They were probably early 2020. So go to our website under videos and Tipsy Tuesdays. All the shows are listed in order and with a little bit of the topic. So I'm sure you can find it. However, I thought, you know what, as this year goes on, then we're beginning to almost 2 years since I did those series. So I think we will think about it later this year to redo the Matchmaker series, go deeper dive, and then of course we already have a bunch more patterns to talk about. So there will be an update on the Matchmaker series according to all your answers. So we always appreciate it. Appreciate all the feedback. So what do you think of that? 2 new things to dive into.
People are so happy.
Yes. I want to say happy Black History Month. Of course, the month of February. And I am for sure going to do my part and learn and listen and read and just make sure that I am hearing all the voices that sometimes get suppressed. So I'm going to do my part, and I encourage everybody to do so. I did a lot of reading in 2020, so I'm going to do even more reading, and especially history stuff. So I am already putting books on my to-do list or on my wish list for February. I listen to about, I don't know, 6, if I'm doing a lot of sewing, probably 6 to 8 books a month. So I think I can get through a lot since I'm working on so many sewing projects.
Go, girl.
All right. Let's talk about the quilts behind me. We have a wonderful quilt right on the wall behind me. This is Nellie. This was pieced by Julie, and she made this for, I believe, a friend. And she used the Painted Soul bundle. An amazing, beautiful, rich colors. We're only seeing a portion of the quilt because it's huge. I think she made the twins is a twin full size. So we have a photo of the whole quilt. So let me show you. Look how gorgeous. Yeah, that one. The whole big one, where you can see the whole thing. No, the other one. The one in the middle. Yes, this one. There it is. There's a whole quilt. So just used a white on white background, and then she did include add some colors, add some basics from our 1 yard. So we actually did a re-pull for this line. I did a fabric pull with this line when the bundle came out, but we did a re-pull with all the colors that Julie chose for her quilt, if you're interested. So that will be on the blog with that pull. And did we have a photo of, oh, we have some close-ups. Yeah, we do have some close-ups. We can do that. A really cool quilting pattern we did on that. It's called Succulents from Urban Elements. Really love that. And yeah, was there a photo of the fabrics with it too, or no? No, probably not. But we will be sure to post all the polls. But I really love this one. Now in the corner is, of course, the Jackie out of the Daydreamer that you've been seeing behind me during, of course, the quilt along. And then on the cabinet, we have the little Stella table runner that I made from the, what's it called? Oh, Sister Bay. Sister Bay Charm Pack. And we just have a few left. They have been flying out since we made this sample. It's so quick, so easy. And of course, if you have the mini ruler, it is awesome. And this is a tool we're gonna be working with a lot in this segment of the quilt along. So if you all are ready, are you ready for our Jackie part of the evening? It's gonna be a major part. So we are going to, I actually pre-recorded this part, so because I knew I wanted to really focus on the special details, and it's always better when we pre-record and we don't have my scatterbrain going on a live show. So I'm going to play the video for all of you, and then we'll go through it again because there's a lot of little details, a lot of tips, and then I answer all your questions after the video. Is that a deal? All right, let's check out part 2 of the Jackie quilt along. Hi, my name is Gudrun from GE Designs, and in this video I'm going to take you through part 2 of the assembly for the Jackie quilt. In this part, we're going to take you through steps 3 and 4 of the pattern. So we are going to start with our subcut units. Remember, we made 4 of each. Subcut unit, 4 identical. If you're doing different backgrounds, you will have 4 identical with a different middle strip if you're using a single background. So starting off in step 3, we are going to grab our triangles. And if you're doing different backgrounds, you want to have matching triangles with your background. And so we're going to be sewing these on each side, and you want to center them. I know it's a little bit odd because they are way smaller. And here's a little trick to center them. This is what I do. I take my unit, I just fold it in half this way and make a crease through that middle strip like this. And that way you have a crease going all the way across, and instead of having to fold this one and matching up, you can just lay this on the side, watch that tip here of the triangle and pull it down until it lines up with that crease, and you have it positioned correctly and you're ready to stitch it down. You might want to pop a pin in there if you want to and stitch that down just like that here. And when I sew, I want to sew from the top because it's hard to always have to lift and start here and end here. I just sew all the way through so I can easily kind of chain piece all of my units. So once we have that done, you want to add the other side. So you will notice that your crease is still here. So I just open this up so I don't press until I add the other one. Do the same thing. Line it up with the edge and then pull it down until it matches up here. Put a pin in and sew that other side. So now I have both sides sewn all the way and you're ready to press. Now the logical way is to press this outwards, but because of the assembly, we're going to make the assembly a bit easier by pressing these in the same direction. So I take my iron and first I want to set the seams by just going over the top like this with it facing down, and then I push this out because one, I want to press towards this side, so I fold it out with my fingers, go straight across, and then this one goes this way. So both seams are going the same direction, and we have a nice flat unit like this. So as you can see, this seam is going this way and this going this way. So we're going to do that same thing with all 4 of our units, and we're ready to move on to step 3. Oh, sorry, step 4. This was step 3. Moving on to step 4, which is trimming these units up. And the best tool to do that with is my Stripology mini ruler. So we're going to be trimming it to 6.5 inches. And so I love the mini because that is the largest square up size we can do. So I've already put arrows here on the top of the 6.5 inch marking. You're looking at the white and then the white diagonal lines. And then I put blue arrows also on the 0 slit and the 6.5 to mark where I should cut through. But I actually want to put a couple of more marks in here which are really going to help. Now I want to show you for reference, if you don't have the mini but you may have the squared ruler, it does have a white 6.5 inch square here. So you would be marking the outlines of these corners and then marking on the cutting on the 3 and the 9.5 inch slits if you wanted to use the squared ruler. If you have the XL, your 1/2 inch square up is going to be by turning the ruler and using the white lines on this side. So again, here's your 6.5 inch white square, and then down here you'll be cutting through the squares marked with 6.5. So you can use either of the 3 rulers. Obviously the mini is just going to be so handy. But let me show you the tricks on trimming these up and giving you some extra uses. So some extra tips and using those ruler stickers for better. So what we want to do is we want to try and center this rectangle inside the trimmed up square. So an easy way to do that is we want to find the center of this way and this way. So I like to do it this very easy. Again, I fold it in half, make a little crease, and there, because so I can see it better, I'm going to use just either a water soluble pen just to put a little mark there. I'll put a little bigger so that you can see it. And then I'm going to do it the other way too. So lining these up. folding it this way to find my center this way, and putting a mark there too. So then I'm going to be using the diagonal white lines here. I'm going to line them up with these purple marks that you made, so both this way and this way. I know it's hard to see because my fabric here is white, but I'm just matching the dotted white line with the purple marks that I just made with my disappearing pen. And you want to make sure also to see this little black dotted line, you want to make sure it's parallel to that seam, because then you know you're parallel to the rectangle. So now that I have it positioned correctly, I'm going to put some stickers in here to help me reference for all of the other blocks that I need to trim, so I don't have to be folding each one. So I'm going to put a green arrow on this corner, upper corner of the rectangle, and then the other corner here. So there. And then I'm going to make my 2 cuts. So I'm going to make my 2 cuts through the 0 and the 6.5. And now we're going to turn our block 90 degrees. Now we align it back up. So we have the top and bottom trimmed. So now we have a horizontal line here on the bottom. We can line up with the bottom. And even though these lines are pretty thick, don't worry about, you can either line it with the top of the line or the bottom of the line, doesn't matter, because we're making cuts this way. So now I'm also going to look at the diagonal line here and make sure that matches up with my little marks that I made. And I don't want to move it up and down. You want to move the ruler side to side to make that match up. So now I move it a little bit to the side and it's matched up. So again, I want to put arrows on the top 2 corners of that rectangle in the middle. So right here, and oh, come on, there. Upper corner here. And now I have my ruler marked for all of the other cuts I have to make. Now I make the cuts through the 0 and the 6.5 again, and we have a perfectly squared up block. So let me now show you how helpful this is if I do another one. So we always want to start with it the same way. I had it starting from, so it's slanted from top left to bottom right. So now all you do is find those green arrows, you line them up with the 2 corners of top corners of the rectangle, and then you check to make sure that this line is parallel to the seam, and you are good to make your cut. So you didn't have to mark anything. It's centered, and then we just turn it and do the other side, and now it's the pink. Line them up on the corners, making sure the top and the bottom is parallel, and you make your 2 cuts, and saves a lot of time. So you want to trim all of your units like this, so you end up having 4 identical for each block. 4 identical for each block. If you're doing different block backgrounds, that means that this fabric and the center fabric should match. If you're making single background, all of the surrounding will be the same, but you want to make these match for 4 matching centers. So that concludes part 2 of our Jackie quilt assembly instructions, and I will see you next time for part 3. Well, there it is, part 2, taking us through those 2 steps. I was kind of watching your comments a little bit throughout the video, and love that you were loving the tips. You know, they're always going to be worth it. Whenever we do a quilt along, you know, I try and give you tips just like I was teaching the class. These are the kind of little things that you can't really put into the books or the patterns. First off, they would be very confusing, and it would take pages and pages to explain them. So those are the bonus things. So I would love to get your questions. I'm going to kind of go through it. I got my pieces here so I can go through some of these things. I saw a couple of questions already about when you are finding the center. So you're finding the center. Let's so how you fold it in half. You know, these two pieces are the same size, so you can just fold it in half and match up these edges, and you will find the center here. You can, of course, try and look and find the match up the seam lines, but it's going to be the same. So, or at least similar enough. So you're pretty centered here. So I just fold them in half, matching up the raw edges here, and then just use my fingers like this when I'm centering for sewing the triangles on. So that's easy, matching up the corner with that crease, right? Same thing when we're finding the center the long way. This is still even, so you can just fold these raw edges even and put a crease in here, and that's going to be your center. And then when you go this way, because these seams are going to nest because they're pressed opposite directions, you can nest that seam really nicely and make that crease the other way for that first block so that you can then do your sticker markings. Yes, this is why I did a second color pack of the stickers. So the first color pack has the 3 colors, and then the second one has yellow, red, and purple. Yellow, red, and purple. So you could have all these different colors going on. They all serve a purpose, and you don't get confused. Gotta love it.
Why iron it the same direction?
Why not iron?
Why?
Why iron in the same direction? This comes into play in part 3. When we're putting the blocks together, we want everything to nest so you're not ending up with a lot of thick seams. So there's always a reason. If I tell you which way to press, there's a reason for it. It's going to serve you well in the long run. All right. So you are now sewing with a bias on the bottom. Actually, I sewed with a bias on the top because it's the triangles. You can do either way. I just like it because they are smaller. There's always exceptions to every rule. So they're smaller, and this way I can watch to make them centered. The triangles are bias. These guys are not bias. So that's the only, and they're not that long, so it's not going to matter that much. All right.
Someone asked, what design did you use for your quilting?
On the big quilt? On the Nelly quilt?
Jackie.
On the Jackie, I used a quilt pattern. We will tell you more about it at the end of the quilt along. Actually, it was designed specifically for Jackie by a long arm designer. So we're going to talk about that later because I don't have all the information. I don't want to say something wrong. What could we do with the trimmed off scraps? The little triangles? You can do whatever you want with them. I did not save my triangles. So if you're talking about this step. Now the other ends, the little 2-inch strips from your strip units, you can sew them together. I actually am sewing, I'm working on that as I'm working through these blocks. So I can show you, I will show you when we finish up what I did with mine. I usually just make a strip that I can utilize in the backing. Do the square up ruler have the lines as the same one? So yeah, so let me show you. I have it over here somewhere. Actually, I don't have the squared. Do you want to hand me the squared? It's laying on top there. So the squared has the exact same lines as the mini, just bigger. So white lines are for 1/2 inch sizes. Black lines are for whole inch sizes. So you can do the exact same markings. You have that 6.5 inch square here. So I would mark the 4 corners of it, and then I would mark the slits that you're going to cut through, just like I talked about in the video. And then when you align it, you can put those arrow stickers just like this one. So if I lay this one on top, this is how it would look. So you could still put your marking stickers on here. So it's the exact same ruler. The mini is just smaller. The XL is a little bit different because we have the turnaround feature on the XL. And so on that one, it just makes it even easier to see because it's sometimes hard to see the black and the white. On the XL, is even easier because you turn it around and then all you're seeing on this side is the white. So you find the 6.5 inch right here. You have only the white dotted line going diagonally, and then you have the actual 6.5 is marked here on the bottom, so you know exactly which slits to cut through. So you can use either of them, any of the three to do this part.
What ruler should I buy first?
I would say to get the biggest use out of your Stripology ruler, I would start with the XL because it can do so much. Then probably I would get the mini and then the squared. I use them all. I don't know. I love those, all of them, and they all have its purpose. What's a crumb block? I don't do crumb sewing. Crumb sewing is where you take little tiny pieces and you kind of just do a crazy quilting patch and make a block that's just a bunch of little pieces and you trim it up. Yes. I don't deal with that. I won't do a tutorial on that. I'll tell you that because I don't save too small of pieces. But my leftovers, if they're usable, definitely. Definitely. All right, more questions? Okay. Somebody says, sometimes I mark the slits and I still cut the wrong way. Me too. It happens. It's just when you're getting into that bliss and you're doing things over and over again, even though you have an arrow, you just pop it over in the wrong slit. It totally happens. All right. Maureen said, I tried other stickers and they left a residue on my ruler. Yes. You don't want to use just anything. So when I designed these and developed these, that was the criteria. The stickers can be left on your ruler as long as you want, a day, a week, a month, a year, and they still won't leave any residue on your ruler. So that was the main thing. It can also be put on paper and still peeled off. It will not stick to the paper. It will stick long enough, as long as you want it to be. Because I had tried those clingy things that were like made of kind of a soft silicone or something. It cling to the ruler. I tried those, but then the next time I was going to use them, they had moved. So that's not going to work for me. So I needed something that would stick long enough that as long as I needed to use it. So, all right. Jenny wants me to send her little triangles. They're all gone. They're all gone. So I actually do save some, put my scraps in a bag and they go into dog beds. So little tiny scraps. I don't just throw them in the trash. Don't worry. Okay. Do you have those pins that you can iron over in the shop? Do we have those? No, I just recently got those. We will be getting those in. I have 2 brands that I'm testing out. You know me, I don't sell anything that I don't use. So I have a couple of different brands that I'm testing out and seeing which one's better. Because a pin needs to be sharp enough, it needs to be sturdy enough, still thin and sharp. And so it's a nice extra feature. I don't usually press over pins anyway, so I really haven't needed to use it. I don't know a point where I need to press over pins. Maybe garment making? I don't know. When would you do that?
Good question.
Okay. Any more do you see any more questions?
No, I was talking about dog beds.
Talking about dog beds.
I make dog beds. Can't wait for my stickers.
Somebody said, raise your hand if you accidentally cut through the stickers. Well, that's okay. That's the beautiful part. You can cut through them and they're still there, even though they're cut apart. So I do that all the time because I, use it to cut something else, and then I cut through my markings. I don't wanted to leave my markings on because I was working on something specific. So I cut through them all the time. Don't worry. They still stick there until you take them off. They still stay.
Someone's iron blew up and they said, which iron do you recommend?
Well, I use reliable brand, so I have the Velocity, which is not available right now in the world because they ran out and they are working on the next model. So I'm very excited about the next model of Velocity, and then they're also coming out with like a pressing station with a big, what's it called, like a container. So I want to try both. I'm excited. So I can't really recommend anything other than that because that's all I use. I've tried everything else. Believe me, I've tried everything else. A lot of people like the Olisos. I cannot stand them because I will forget. I will always be tipping it up, and yeah, so they're not my friend. But a lot of folks like those. Yeah. All right, what size do you make your dog beds? I've started making them, but I'm guessing on the size. I think it all depends on the size of the dogs. I think if you're giving them to shelters, you should consult with the shelters first. Some of them don't take them even. I would recommend to have the bag or the pouch that you put the scraps in double or triple layered because the dogs chew through stuff. And don't make it too big because those scraps get heavy. Those scraps get real heavy. So so I would kind of, think on that and check on where you're going to give them to. I made one that we put in bottom of Kobe's bed because it was kind of low and thin. So he loved it until he had kind of wrestled with it a little too much. So then I just tossed it. I actually checked the insides and they were kind of getting a little yucky, so I actually tossed it. But he used it for a good 3 years, 2-3 years.
Pattern for the quilt on your right?
The quilt on my
right.
My right, yes. Nellie is a single pattern using 10-inch squares, and of course all those points you just are making large half square triangles. It's really easy and great, of course, with the rulers. Great for the Stripology squared or the XL. So, will the video be added to the extended pattern? Yes, that exact video I showed you will be in your account right after the show. I'll put it in your account right after the show if you purchase the extended pattern. So go back and watch it. Of course, you can watch the Tipsy Tuesday replays once we are done too. Okay. Any other questions on the Jackie? No? That's exciting. Well, this, these part 2 or these 2 steps take, they take a little time. The strip piecing was probably pretty fast, and so this one will take a little more time, but enjoy the process. I like to break my process up. So, for example, if you're making a big quilt, I don't piece all of my squares and then press all of my squares and then trim all of my squares. I actually break it down. So maybe I'm working on like 4 blocks at a time or 6 or 8. And so I piece those, press those, and trim those. And then I move on and do the next batch. It just breaks it up. It makes you stand up, makes you move. And so you're not sitting and none of the kind of process or tasks get too tedious. Because if you're doing the same thing over and over again, you know how your eyes just start to get cross-eyed and you get tired of just that? That's when the mistakes happen. So I like to break it up to keep your mind fresh and your body fresh. And it just seems, the process just seems, it seems more enjoyable to me. That's just me. So love that. So I wanted to show you. So these are my Jackie. Most of you know that I'm making the Jackie with the extended version with a single block backgrounds, or no, I should say multi-block backgrounds out of the henna bundle. So they're going to be all different colors. And then, so if you're using a single background, which I'm doing with this one, when you're doing the 4, you want to have 4 of the same strip color in each block. So that goes together, and these are easy to match up because the outsides are the same. So 4 that match the outsides. If you're using a single fabric for the middle, you're not going to be worried about that. You want to watch for the outside fabrics, the background fabrics. All right. All right. So let's move on. I wanted to mention a little something about our retreat and our grant nomination. I'm thrilled to announce that another amazing viewer of ours stepped up and wanted to donate another grant. So we have 4 grant recipients of the virtual retreat spots. So we're giving away 4 whole full retreats, everything included, fabrics and everything. And after a long deliberation, we had over 100 nominations, and I did read through all of them. I did. It was hard. And
did you cry?
Yes, multiple times.
Okay, good.
Multiple times. And very worthy people. We together narrowed it down to about 50, and then we had multiple people from our staff read through all of them, and they got to each choose 5. So they just marked down 5, and then from there I chose all the ones that they had marked, and then I made the final decision, which was still hard. Still hard. But so we have, I'm just going to say, we have folks, different stages and different things. We have a military mom that has young kids. We have another mom with special needs children that doesn't get a chance to do much. And so one occasion, the military mom, the person who nominated her, offered to babysit for her so she could do this because her husband is deployed, so she never really gets that much time to spend on quilting. So that's exciting. And then the special needs mom, her family all committed to take care of the kids so she could get 4 days of quilting. We have folks that have been pretty isolated since the pandemic started, and another person that went through a lot of loss, just endless losses, and have kind of lost their quilting mojo. So it's just awesome. It's awesome. Awesome people. But like I said, we had numerous people that were worthy of this, but I'm excited, and we have notified everybody that received the grant, and they are so excited about for being a part of it, and humbled, and so it's just lovely. It's going to be fabulous. I wanted to say that we will be shipping the retreat boxes, hopefully, before February 20th. So we ship for both sessions at the same time, so everybody will get their box around the same time. I'm not going to say exactly the same time. That's not going to happen. So we always keep a total hush-hush, no posting of anything until I say it's okay. But we are still waiting on a couple of bundles. We have heard that they're shipping this week again. Let's hope for the best. Unfortunately, there's all these storms going on, have been going on, so who knows, but we are hoping for the best. So what I also wanted to say, we are taking reservations, so you can still join us. You can still purchase retreat until we ship the boxes. So unless you're going to pick up your box, we have to stop the reservations around the time that we ship the boxes, because we don't want it to not get there, of course. So that is all our announcements for retreat. Like I said, I can't wait. Time is going to fly. Do we have any questions on retreat?
We're just excited for the
That's great. A little update on Color Club. I know there's been all kinds of shipping issues. We always ship them USPS first class mail, so it's not going to be as much priority as a priority mail. So just know that. And with the storms, I know a lot of normal postal routes are being rerouted other directions. And then, of course, with COVID surges, there's been personnel shortage. So just know we just got to have patience again and with everything. Just go sew something because that always fixes my.
When will folks be notified they can switch from one?
Oh, do not worry about that. If you sent as an email on switching, we will do that automatically. You won't necessarily see it on your account, but don't worry, we got all your emails and we will just switch you between lists. So you will receive the correct schedule and the dates, and you will also get most importantly, the correct Zoom links for the weekend that you're doing yours. So don't worry about that. We won't necessarily, you won't necessarily see it reflected in your account, but we have been waiting to get most of our registration in, and then we're gonna do the swap around. We will email you and let you know you're all set. All right, but not necessarily reflected in your account. Okay, anything else?
Oh, stuff that people don't need to know yet.
Oh, they're asking for stuff? Yes.
What Zoom classroom will I be in?
Oh, yeah, we're not going to talk about that yet. Okay, well, let's check out. I have a bundle to show you tonight. I do have this one. This is what I've been waiting for. The Tim Holtz backings are here. We had a little pre-order for those. So we both have the dictionary backing. How perfect is this for a reader or a librarian or a teacher for a quilt back? So 108, and we sell them, of course, in 3 yards and in 1 yards. So a 3 yard is 108 by 108 inches. And then we have 1 yard, which is 36 by 108. And here is the map or the expedition. I love that it has this vintage coloring, and this is so cool. I just love this. So, like always, I have to find Iceland to make sure that they included us. And of course, I'm not going to find it in the fold that I'm going to show you, but it's there, and it's a vintage map, just so you know. All right. So this is available if you pre-ordered. We will be, if we didn't ship it today, we'll be shipping it tomorrow. So all cool. And we're already working on next month's Color Club because it's February 1st. We're shipping Color Club for February on Monday. Yes, it's exciting. So if you can still sign up for the subscription. Color Club, we have open spots, a few open spots, so you can sign up for the subscription right now. If you do it before the 5th, you will receive January's packet and then February's packet as well. But hopefully, if you wanted to wait until February, you can do that too. Hopefully, we'll still have some spots. All right, so let me show you this brand new bundle. So this one is called Good Vibes, and I love this because good vibes is what we all need to get through this winter, especially around here. It was so wicked cold today and windy. And
we need warm vibes too.
Yeah, like wish we need good vibes and warm vibes, but it's not coming anytime soon. Is it Groundhog's Day tomorrow? Maybe we'll get some good news, but yeah. This seems like a really long winter because it's been cold since like all of January has been cold pretty much. We've gotten some teaser days, but that's it. All right, so Good Vibes. So this is from 3 Wishes. Really fun colorful, bright, and happy. So we have this typography print. Today is a new day. Sending rainbows, radiate love, focus on the good. Love this print, and this will be so fun for younger kids, teenage vibe. So here's, and some of the prints are very kind of geometric, which I love. We have some blues. So there's pretty much the whole rainbow is in here. So we have blues with these pink triangles. We have a large print here that kind of has these rainbow but very abstract. Just awesome color. Awesome, awesome color. Love this one. This is a larger scale one too. Butterflies, and I love this hue of blue in the background. Just kind of a step between a medium blue and a teal. So don't know what to call this one yet, but believe me, I'm exploring this hue of blue. Then this is another abstract print. It's just so much fun. A lot of activity, a lot of action, a little bit of a pink background here. We have a little floral, but still very abstract. On a lighter background, but loving all these colors, blues, yellows, a little bit of orange, and so of course we gotta have rainbows. Beautiful, beautiful rainbows are giving you good vibes, right? We have a stripe, kind of an ombre stripe. So, isn't that cool? So you can, if you cut strips, you'll get multicolored strips. If you cut squares, you can get so much fun with this print. Perfect for binding. I would cut it the other way for binding. And then we have just one neutral. It just came with a bundle. It's a 10-piece bundle, and I just brought it in here because I just like to add it. I think because the bright colors and a lot of action, fresh white background is what is needed. So you could use this and then add to it, do some scrappy. So it's not pure white on white. It has a little kind of cloudy tone to it. So the words to live by cloud, foliage, or the whispers and the tangles, white, are perfect. I tried it with our true white on whites, and these were much better. So these would be the ones that you could use with this. But of course, lots of colors, so just warning you, lots of fabrics for the pool. Because, yeah, it was just fun. I had fun in the warehouse with this today. So Spectrostatic Turquoise, I love this one because it goes into the deepest tone of the turquoise. A lot of green in it. And then I had to do a medium because there's a medium hue to them too, and this one has the blues in it too and the light greens. This is the Nature Element in the Caribbean blue, and then the lightest for some of those light tones, I chose the Seeds and the Ice. So we have the 3 tones of the greens. For the blue, like I said, the Arctic Kyanite and the Prisma Elements from Art Gallery. It's a little bit bluer than this, but it goes with a lot of the blues elsewhere because, and I wanted a darker hue, and then a lighter hue would be the Bumbleberries and the Aqua. So it has a more blue. These are more green. This one has more blue because there is a lot of the light blue in here, and of course this main print, this typography print too. So that's the Aqua. Then let's go into the warmer tones. The pinks, I chose 2 hues, the Seeds and the Carnation, great for that darker, a very unique color of pink. So it's got a lot of red in it. So it's almost red, but just a little bit of a pink undertone. And then the Grunge and the Blush, just a light pink, and it has just little hues of light blue in it, just a little specks. So I thought that would be perfect for those lightest pink tones. We had to have a yellow, so I chose a pretty bright yellow with the Seeds and the butter. And then all those peachy and orange tones, I chose one lighter peach for some of the peach letters here. The Thatched and the Coral, a new color. And then for the darker, still not too bright orange, but mixes well because it got kind of a peachy orange, the deco stitch, and the red desert. And of course, I had to show you the stripes because we have so many fun stripes that would work with this bundle. The pink stripe has yellow and the pink all over it, so that would work well. But also if you wanted the diagonal stripe in the yellow or the diagonal stripe in the perky pink, would both work great with this bundle. So this is Good Vibes. And I grabbed these on the way out. Check this out. The new thread kits, the variegated thread kits. The Water Lily, which is originated in the Amazon, of course. Let me show you the colors. So those pinks would be great in here. And then the Hawaiian Blue Ginger has a little bit of purple, but also that yellow. Oops. Oh, don't go too far. And that one is, that plant is from Hawaii. So we have the light lavender, and then lots of yellow with that mixed in. So that would be beautiful too. So this is, like I said, Good Vibes, and we will put this in a blog post with all the polls so you can check it out. And that is all that we have new today. We have been busy cutting up Color Club, but we have a lot of stuff delivered. Some today, and everything is everybody's shipping again finally. So I know we're gonna just get pounded with new fabric the next couple of weeks, and there's nothing more exciting to me, especially when I'm in this mode of creating. I'm working on a new book, of course. I've said that before, so it's all percolating in there.
Time for the percolator.
Yes, time for the percolator. All right. I hope you commented a lot during the show because we're going to pull a live winner. Do you have somebody from all of the comments? Let's see. Who is it? Oh, Maureen Brand. Come on. Congratulations, Maureen. Come on over.
Come on down.
You don't want to come over here. It's freezing.
You told her to come on down.
Come on down. Oh, I wish we would be able to do that. Maybe one day, someday, we can have live audience. But Maureen, you've won a $25 gift card. Send us an email to help@GEQuiltDesigns, and we'll get you your gift card. So, of course, we have another chance to win. I always have a giveaway question, so even if you can't catch us live, you can still win another $25 gift card. We'll announce the winner next week. And so my question for you is, what is your favorite pair of shoes?
Oh my gosh, that's so hard to pick.
All you have to do is pick from the 150 running shoes or athletic shoes that you have.
It's so hard to pick. I love them all. I love them all.
I could not pick from all your shoes. He's got a lot of sneakers. He has one to match every single outfit, right?
Well, not really, but kinda.
Yeah, kind of. I say really. For me, it would be a toss-up between probably one of my nice running shoes too, because they're just comfortable, or my slippers. My Birkenstocks that you hate.
Oh, those are the worst.
Or flip-flops. I mean, many of you probably wear flip-flops year-round. I don't know. No, probably one of those. Maybe you're a heel person. I don't know. I'm not much of a heel person. Not my favorite. I still wear them because I'm short. I have to. But I love then, if I were to be fancy shoes, it would be probably some kind of wedges because they're just easy to walk in.
It's just your favorite shoe.
Just your favorite shoe. That's what I asked. Yeah. So you could, like, there's groups. There's categories of favorite shoes. There's categories. I mean, my favorite boots. I got lots of boots.
Nope, just your favorite shoe.
I can't. It's too many. I like them all.
I like my Ugg slippers. I have two.
Mm-hmm. So what's your favorite shoe? Name one. Name one pair.
I think my Adidas I had on today, that they're multicolored.
Mm-hmm.
They're really comfortable.
Oh, are they the LGBTQ shoes?
Series, yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
They're cool. They're cool. And comfortable, probably.
Very comfortable.
All right. Tell us your favorite shoe, no matter what it is. Maybe it's just your favorite at this moment, in this season. So, I mean, I would have a favorite for every season. Anyways, tell us in the comments and we'll pick a winner randomly and announce it on our next Tipsy Tuesday on February 8th at 7 p.m. Central. And then, of course, we will be live this Friday, which is February 4th. Now, February is here. That means we're one step closer to spring. 1 month closer to spring, right? Yes. So, oh, you brought it. Oh, you're going to show him your shoe.
Yeah.
Your favorite shoe. Oh, great. I don't have my favorite shoe here. But, are you going to bring them on camera?
One right here.
Oh, cool. Yeah, those are cool.
That. Ooh.
Those are some fancy
That is a
running
cool
shoes.
shoe right there, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, yeah.
All right, now you know, everybody. Make him happy. You just get him a new pair of sneakers. He's good.
You better
Preferably
say
one that he doesn't have, which is hard to do.
size 11. Size 11. Just in case.
Oh my gosh. Don't get him any more shoes. He's got plenty. All right, everybody. Thank you for watching us tonight. We will see you for Happy Friday, this coming Friday, and then next week for part 3 of our Jackie Quilt Along. Bye, everybody.